Everybody, thank you for being here. Thank you so much for those of you who are joining us online. This is a study session meeting of the City Council of the City of Waverly, Iowa. Today is Monday, November 25th. It is 7 o'clock in City Hall. This meeting is called to order. Would you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Council members, you have in front of you an agenda prepared by Carla. Can I have a motion?
Move approval of the agenda as presented.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion?
If I could, sir, I'd like to pull item 3. We're simply not prepared to discuss that tonight. We've had a number of projects come up that I want to get better costing on, and I don't want to do a partial presentation to you because that wastes everybody's time. So if you would, I'd like to remove item 3 from the study session, discussion, potential fiscal 26 projects.
Any objection from the council?
I would amend my approval of the agenda to strike item 3.
Thank you.
And I'll move my second.
All right. You appear ready to vote? Agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? That passed unanimously. We have
Thank you, Council.
a guest council person. Mr. Langer, would you introduce yourself again?
Yeah, Jeremy Langner, Waverly resident, been here for, 10 years, but was in the school district for 12 years, and so got a wife who's a teacher as well in Denver, and 3 kids that are in the school system here in Waverly, junior, 7th grader, and a 1st grader, so spread out.
And you've got a job here in town, if I remember correctly?
Yeah, I just recently career changed, and I work for Hubbard Financial Group with Mark Hubbard and Angie Hubbard and their team here in town.
And you had 1 or 2 things to do with the installation of the ball diamonds?
Yeah, a few.
Okay, yeah, thank you for that.
1.2 million of them.
Yeah. Excellent. If you're keeping score at home, Councilperson Drenko and Councilperson Jones are absent tonight. Now is the time for public comments on items that are not on the agenda. If you wish to stand for something that is not on tonight's agenda, this is the time to do that. Please come to the microphone. I see no one, so...
There's people. Come to the microphone.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see you.
That's all right.
Now, you understand that you can speak to the council cannot speak back to you because you're not on the agenda.
Okay,
So, you've got 5 minutes.
I decided very quickly to come. I live on First Street. My name is Chris Witcher, and I'm kind of new to Waverly. 6 years we've lived here, but we built a home with Panther Builders, and on November 5th, my basement was flooded from flushing the water mains with the contractor behind us. And I'm very frustrated because I went to the city first and filed a claim, and the city was not being very supportive. It seems like I kept getting passed the buck from downtown to the Public Works. So I went ahead and filed the claim, and they called me and said, we're denying the claim because it's the construction behind you, it's their fault. And they gave me the name, Rothi Construction was hired under Panther Builders. So I filed with them, and I have pictures and everything, and today they told me that they are not at fault because the city's pipes, and I want to read exactly what she said to me. She said the sewer pipes are not level and they're not straight. So I called Justin at the Public Works and I said, now I'm back with the city filing this claim. And he said, no, you were lied to. We never gave them permission to flush the water mains. Plus it was way too much water and it went way too fast. So they are liable. Well, now I filed with my insurance company. I don't know if I'm going to have to get an attorney. I have $6,000 worth of damage in my basement that needs to be taken care of. And extremely frustrating because my husband has Alzheimer's and dementia, and the basement is his space. And it's a frustrating situation for me to deal with. So I want the city council to know what's going on. I mean, I'm a taxpayer here. I feel like This is not my fault. It should be taken care of by somebody. And I'm just getting passed the buck back and forth, and I don't know what to do. So I'm just telling you folks about what's going on. There was at least 5 people that got water. 2 of us called restoration companies, with mine being the worst. I don't know why. Panther Builders said it's because the pressure of the water line. But, you know, I'm sad to hear if the pipes aren't right and the city of Waverly is just going to let this go on. And Rothy Construction says I could get flooded again. And I don't want to hear that. I mean, I don't know what to do. I kind of want to move out of Waverly. I thought Waverly was a great community, and now I'm living with this, with a flooded basement and hearing that it's going to maybe flood again, and the pipes aren't done right. So I'm frustrated.
I'm sure you are.
Thank
First
you.
off, I'm very sorry for your husband's illness,
Thank you.
and I understand what it is to have space for someone that's ill like that. And,
It's important.
The council cannot respond to you.
I know.
But we hear you, and we'll look into it.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much. Anyone else want to rise to speak to items that are not on tonight's agenda? Yes, sir. Can you identify yourself?
Yeah. Justin Little. I live at 1204 First Street Southeast in Waverly. I am neighbors with Ms. Witcher here. It's kind of a last-minute deal. I was talking to her. I just got done coaching. I coach at Wartburg with the women's basketball team, and we've had an issue with the development that's behind us that's been going on here. In August, I got a kind of a certified letter stating that our backyard is not is lower than what it's supposed to be, and with the retention pond that's going to be behind us, that was built by Panther Builders, that they built it wrong, and their concern is if that retention pond overflows, that it's going to go into our egress windows. So we were sent a certified letter, had a meeting with the gentleman by the name of Kevin Fitro, who I think is running Panther Builders, and said that he was going to take care of it, all cost and everything. We asked him and begged him to wait till spring. I have a fenced-in yard. I am the first house by the road there, the parkway, and with all the bridge being out here, we have a lot of traffic now, a lot of traffic. And we have 2 dogs, and my concern is that they were going to take the fence out, how quickly they were going to get it done. We were promised before December. 2 weeks ago, they took our fencing out. We thought everything was going fine. They took our steps out of our deck because they're going to have to raise our grade 16 inches is what we were told. I was at work today at practice. My wife said there was some engineers behind us. She went out and talked to them. They're telling us now that they're not going to be able to get to that till next spring. And that's a concern because they took all of our fencing out. They're not going to be able to do, they took the landscaping out. And we're not going to have anything now. So I know it's maybe not a city issue, but I wanted you guys to be aware of it because I think there's been some frustration with Panther Builders and this whole development behind us. I did get a little bit of water, not enough to put a claim in, but I think it's very disheartening to hear that she's got $6,000 of damage and she's kind of getting the runaround between city officials and between what's going on with Panther Builders. So I just wanted you guys to be aware of what's going on. You know, we're trying to be good neighbors with Panther Builders. We're trying to get a nice development behind us, but sometimes we're getting the runaround with them on trying to get a hold of them. I emailed today before all this went down to ask Kevin what's going on. Still haven't heard back from him, but something has to get done. And I know I talked to Brian a little bit, and hopefully we can talk again, and maybe we need to have kind of a neighborhood meeting on what needs to be done, because from what Kevin is saying is he was not involved with Panther Builders building our homes, even though it was Panther Builders, but that grade is too low for what it should have been, and I question why the city would have approved and let them have that grade as low as what it was. And with all the codes that we have and now buying this brand new, they're coming in and having to raise the grade, I think is kind of disappointing that it should have never even got to that point where it should have been passed by code. So I thank you for your time, and I will be in contact with some of you guys about the issues that I have when we can talk. Appreciate it, thank you.
Thank you. Again, we can't respond to you because you're not on the agenda, but you've got a good council person that you're relating to, and I'm sorry for your frustration, and thank you for making us aware of the situation. Anyone else want to rise to speak to something that is not on the agenda tonight? I see no one, so we'll move forward. We're on item E. This is a study session calendar. We'd like to hear from the Waverly Golf Course Commission for your annual report to the council. Garrett.
Started here.
Okay.
Can you start by identifying yourself?
Yes, good evening. My name is Jerry Hankner, and I'm a member of the Waverly Golf Commission, and here tonight to present the municipal golf course report to City Council.
That'll come on as you're speaking.
Okay. Can you see your screen? Okay.
Yeah, we can see it on
Sorry.
our screens. Thank you.
Anyway, our commission meets monthly, the second Tuesday of the month at noon at the Golf Course Clubhouse. My fellow commissioners are Angie Hubbard, Dave Linder, Ron Rushi, and Sally Thorson, who are with us here tonight, and our city council liaison is Brent Jones. Our mission statements. First, for the Leisure Services Department, we believe in making the good life better by providing safe, modern, well-maintained, and aesthetically pleasing environments for the community of today and tomorrow. For the Waverly Golf Course, we commit to provide scenic golf and the social experiences of exceptional value, embracing our historic past and our progressive future in the greater Cedar Valley. We strive for the values of excellence, welcoming customer service, teamwork and loyalty, diverse opportunities, and try to offer a memorable experience. Staffing the golf course is led by Leisure Services Director Garrett Riordan, with office coordinators Ashley Lichty and Kaylee Analt. At the golf course, we have grounds maintenance specialist lead Chris Miller, along with Ben Nichols, along with 12 seasonal part-time staff. Up at the pro shop, we have PGA professional Jordan David, and he's assisted with 13 seasonal part-time staff. Some of the golf course accomplishments were the addition of 2 permanent memorial benches as they were installed in holes 7 and 13, as pictured below, along with on hole number 3, I'm putting on a new concrete cap on the retaining wall and steps to replace the original ones that have deteriorated, as pictured in the lower right-hand illustration. Volunteer willow trees have historically been a problem around some of the ponds. Over the spring, took the time to remove many of them off the South Industrial Pond, and that's illustrated on the right hand, the before and after. Additionally, 12 new trees were planted in the spring, and they were funded by the Tree Donation Fund. Along with the purchase of 6 smaller trees, 4 of them came from new donations. At the Pro Shop, in July of '23, hosted the 90th Annual Waverly Invitational. 143 players participated in the 2-day individual stroke play event. This is the longest invitational tournament in the state of Iowa. Again in July, hosted a 4-day junior golf camp with a record 68 junior golfers. Followed in August of '23, hosted the annual junior golf fundraiser. 124 players participated and raised $2,750 for junior golf programs. At the end of the 23 calendar year, the Waverly Golf Course had produced 30,026 rounds, excuse me, which was the most ever recorded at our facility. This record was again broke in the 24 season with 30,330 rounds recorded through the end of October of this year. Ahead of the 24 season, sold a record 422 season passes, including a substantial record number of college passes. The previous record was set ahead of the 23 season with 390 passes. In May began the first session of the season of the program for adult beginner golfers named Ground Floor Golf. We successfully graduated 22 golfers in the 24 season. In June of this year, continued to the city, championship series in conjunction with Prairie Links to crown champions in open, women's, seniors, super seniors, and 8 junior divisions over the course of the summer. This was the 94th playing of the open division championship. In September of 23, 152 players participated in the Veterans Appreciation Outing, including 68 veterans. This event raised a record $6,700 for local veteran charities. The Waverly Golf Course was once again represented in the PGA Junior League. 15 kids made up our team in 2024 competing against area golf courses. The Waverly Golf Course was selected Best Golf Course as part of the Courier's Best of the Best feature for 2024. And I believe this recognition reflects on the entire Waverly Golf team, embracing the values of Waverly Golf. Chris and Ben, along with the maintenance staff, providing a quality venue for golf. Jordan, with the Pro Shop staff, providing a welcoming environment, hosting a number of high-quality tournaments open to the Cedar Valley. Continued involvement with area youth with tournaments, camps, growing the game. Introducing adults to the game through the Ground Floor Golf program. With these and a number of other ongoing activities, resulting in the growth of rounds played here in Waverly. We would like to thank the City Council members for the show of support through the informative and insightful articles that appeared in the paper leading up to the Pro Shop referendum of this year. The Commission recognizes the dedication and support of the City Council to the city golfing activities and the facilities the community has available. The Commission hopes to continue to improve the quality of life of citizens of Waverly by providing the natural areas and the facilities for golfing and non-golfing citizens of today and the future. And again, thank you to the council and the city for your support of golf here in Waverly. And I guess at this time, would open up to any questions or comments.
Council?
Thank you for the report.
Thank you.
What ideas does the Golf Commission have regarding the referendum and where we go from here?
Well, at our last commission meeting, we had, I think, a pretty lively conversation on that, and our consensus is to move forward next year with a referendum much like the one that was presented this year, so.
Do you have any ideas about how to get accurate information out to the public?
Well, I think that's a challenge, and Ben Nichols, I think, hit it on the head when he said that maybe our worst enemy at the time was just, it was bad timing. A lot of things impacted people financially at that time, the pool and the other, increase in property taxes. So, yeah, we talked about ways of getting the word out, a little more truth. And maybe this upcoming election would be, we'd have a better competing with less things that impact people in the pocketbook.
I think there's a misperception that people don't play golf. I don't know how that happens when you publicize how many rounds are played, but that's what I was hearing from people, is that I think there's a lack of awareness of how many kids play golf, the college students that play golf. I think there's also a lack of awareness of what the interior of the clubhouse is like. So I don't know if you need to send a drone through there or what, but.
We agree with that very much.
You
It
know,
looks
so
pretty
I-
good from 150 yards away, but
Yeah,
to get
yeah.
close to it, yes.
Yeah, so I think, I think that obviously as elected officials, we're not able to lobby either way, but if there are concerned citizens out there that want to see this happen, I think they need to make their voices heard.
Yes. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you for your report, especially the numbers. I'm not sure they're held in context, is what I read, is that nationally, golf is diminishing. But locally, you're breaking record after record. So it's not just doing very well, it's doing very well in a difficult climate.
And I believe it's a bit balanced increase in numbers with the adults taking classes,
Yeah.
and then with the very active youth program Jordan has that helps feed it too, so.
Well, yeah, I blame a lot of our growth on Jordan, but,
He
that's,
can take it.
okay.
I would like to ask a question that you probably can't answer. Of those 30,000 rounds, about how many of those are people in Waverly, and how many of them are people from surrounding communities coming to Waverly?
I mean, we've talked about that some, and I mean,
Uh-oh.
Jordan
They're
knows
bringing
it
up the big guns.
best,
Bring me up, Jordan.
but you notice a lot of out-of-county plates up there.
And my question also that I asked before the referendum was, how many people is that? So how many separate golfers play those 30,000 rounds?
Yeah, I mean, that's a separate question. but-
Right.
You weren't supposed to ask that question. We don't collect that kind of information from everybody that walks
Sure.
through the door. Kind of pivoting over to Ann potentially, it's hard to say. We have over 3,000 names this year of people that we put into our system, but again, if you just walk in, we just call you a guest, so we don't necessarily take your name and stuff like that. So 3,000 is a completely low end, and really not a viable figure there. But you asked me the two questions I probably didn't want there. So I've got all the figures in the world except for maybe those two right there.
Sure.
Sorry.
You can tell us some other random figures if you want, Jordan, if that would make you feel.
Well, I mean, so
It
you're
is
saying
hard to
that, you're
tease
saying
out
that there's
that.
at least 30,000 distinct players. There may be more because.
No,
3,000.
3,000.
Sorry, at least 3,000 distinct
Yeah.
players.
Absolutely, that's a very, very minimum.
Right,
I
so
don't think
at
that's
least-
close
yeah,
to the,
so at least
to the true
3,000.
number.
Okay.
Yeah. I think one number that is true though is the average person that we have taken their name from, they play about 7 rounds per person. So
Okay.
if you wanted to kind of backwards, you can
Yeah.
find your way to a
Division,
number there.
yeah. I'm good at that.
Absolutely. So
Okay.
within that 30,000 significant record in college students this year, we finally broke through in Wartburg students and even some UNI students traveling to get a pretty good deal and play some golf. And our junior numbers are just absolutely through the roof. So daily rounds, season pass rounds, it's pretty fun to see a lot of young faces around our facility. So having a lot of success in that area.
So, not in your spare time, but I wonder if there would be Wartburg or UNI students of statistics who might be able to make that a project for the coming year to break down the data a little bit more. Maybe that would help with a repeat referendum. I know that's something that I would talk to constituents about also, who also said not very many people play golf, but to try to make the argument that a lot of people are coming to Waverly to use our golf course because it is so remarkable, and that's bringing business dollars into town. If we had some empirical data that we could use to show that, it would be helpful.
Absolutely. We can absolutely work on that.
There is info on I think on the Iowa PGA or the Iowa Golf Professionals website. They actually did a study looking at the economic impact of golf in the state as a whole. I was Googling that before I wrote my article. And so there is info for the whole state that's hard to break down. I think the other thing people aren't aware of is how much money is raised for charity up there, too. I know the Exchange Club raised I think, over $10,000 with their golf tournament. And so I think there's a lot of different impacts that could potentially be emphasized.
Absolutely. We hosted over 10 outings for other organizations, and we don't ask them to disclose what they make. But, on our event that we ran for veterans, making roughly $7,000, if you want to extrapolate that out. It is used as a fundraising opportunity for a lot of organizations, so.
Jordan, I know you well enough to know that you're going to keep going to break the next record, whatever that is. What other ideas do you have for the future? The referendum obviously is the big one, but what other things do you want to accomplish, or what support do you need from the community to keep growing your brand?
We've just got to keep finding new people to play golf and different sections of people to play golf. We're trying to expand upon ground floor golf. It was created because we weren't seeing enough of women golfers at our golf course. So we made a program which has probably been 80 to 90% women, and we've kept them. They now play in our leagues and they play in our tournaments, and that was something that we shot for. So we just keep trying to find little subsections of people that maybe we're not reaching. And maybe even through this referendum process, we found more people than we thought that our message isn't getting to. So we've got to find some of those corners and find those people and figure out how can we make you play golf. So that's where our vision's at right now, is finding those people.
I'll give you my wife's cell phone number.
There you go. Pass it along.
So if someone has never played golf before, they can show up and you have like clubs they can rent and everything that they
No
need?
clubs needed. You show up, we'll take it from there. So.
Okay.
Jordan,
I
is
think
there?
the simulators will also give you another avenue
Oh,
of
yeah.
people that don't play. It's almost a game system for some kids. It's, we were at the Meadows in Asbury, there's a whole nother segment of the population that uses those simulators that don't even golf at all, but they're in there religiously using them. It's a whole nother segment of people that are exposed to that sport.
Yeah, we know we're a little bit behind on that area. You think about it, instead of maybe taking 4 hours for 18 holes, it takes 2 hours. You always have food and beverages and 3 steps of you, and maybe there aren't trees to worry about and stuff like that. So it can be a little bit more fun at a different time. So there's a huge section of our country right now that's the way they prefer to play golf. So and we've known that for some time.
Is there an agency in this area that helps people with disabilities play golf
Absolutely.
with adaptive equipment? And do you ever see participants or golfers coming with disabilities to play? I mean, they can't get in the clubhouse because it's not ADA accessible. Can't get in
Yeah, and
easily,
that's a
but-
huge part of it, is that our
Yeah.
facility's not welcoming, and we're not able to necessarily house those people. But the Give Foundation, it's Golfing for Injured Veterans, and
Oh,
we
okay.
give money to them. Unfortunately, we don't have a facility where we can really house those kinds of rounds.
Okay.
But that happens, and that actually began in Iowa, so we're very proud of that as PGA members. So that's something that we always want to make sure that we're supporting.
Any other questions or comments, council?
I think I just encourage, based on my experience, I just encourage you to keep pushing the efforts forward, focus on the kids. You get a lot of kids involved. There's a lot of kids that do play, and we as adults can criticize adults, but when we know it's better for kids, we always take a step forward too.
Yeah, just keep up the good work.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you very much.
That takes us to item 2 under section E. This is the Waverly Leisure Services Commission's annual report to the council. I'd invite the council to come forward and make your report.
Hello, I'm Brittany Knipper, and I have almost a year on the commission now.
And I'm Sonia Bodine. I've been on for 3 years and will hopefully be on 3 more. The mission statement for the leisure services is we believe in making the good life better by providing modern, well-maintained, and aesthetically pleasing environment for the community for today and tomorrow.
We meet the third Thursday of every month at 7 o'clock right here in the council chambers.
Our commission members are Chairperson Tara Winter, I, Sonia Bodine, is Vice, Cherie Human, Joel Johnson, Brittany Kneiper, Randy Neuendorf, Derek Solhelm, and Julie Myers as our council liaison.
Leisure services covers these different areas: the parks, the cemetery, the swimming pool, civic center, the dog park, forestry trails, the Central Business District and Public Properties.
And these are just our powers to, and I won't go through all of those, but we just recommend certain things to the council and try to move forward.
Our leisure services staff, we have our director Garrett, our 2 office coordinators Kylie and Ashley, and then the facilities manager is Shane, the civic center custodian is Steve, and the public grounds manager is Paul. Our parks grounds maintenance specialist is Cody, and the cemetery maintenance specialist is Cole. Our athletic fields maintenance specialist is Greg Westendorf, and we have 9 part-time employees.
And now we'll get into some of the accomplishments. We worked with the Chamber of Commerce to prepare the community events. We cleared and managed the 10 miles of sidewalk and 14 miles of recreational trails. Over 60 flower planters, baskets, and holiday decor. We installed the field signs, 2 batting cages, turf, concrete at Cedar River Park. Also the Waverly Sharing Gardens, which it looks like they produced over $11,000 worth of, 11,000 pounds of produce, which is phenomenal. And they started phase 2 of the park shop with an upgrade and remodel of May of '24. Should be completed shortly here, December 1st, 2024, and the replacement of the rail trail Baskin Creek Bridge.
All right, on the top left, we have a picture of some of our garden volunteers with the pounds that they produced at the garden. To the right of that is the construction of the parks building. And then further down is getting Santa's house ready that they accomplished this year. And then the new batting cages.
Some of our accomplishments are the candlelight walk. We always hold that, usually the first weekend in November. This year, I think we had 179 participants and I think 12 dogs. We received plant material donations and labor volunteers from Eckers, the Waverly Exchange Club to landscape and install the Veterans Memorial Corner Sculptures project. Quick Start donated some picnic tables and some commercial shelving for the Cedar River Park concessions. We had 2 picnic tables donated from a private donor for Cedar River Park. And then 4 benches were added throughout the city parks, all from private donations. The grants from the Bremer County Community Foundation for Jewel Park upgrades, Coleman Park, and the Diamond Vogel paint also in there for the Quantic upgrades. They completed grant projects including Bremer County Community Foundation garden bed upgrades. And I can't read that, the light projects.
Dog park.
The dog park. Like
Dog park light project was finished.
All right, our first picture is from our candlelight walk around the bonfire. And then we have the new sculpture going up at Veterans Memorial. And then to the right is a new memorial bench along the river.
Those are the new wood around the raised gardens, the baseball complex, and another bench.
Some more accomplishments where we purchased equipment and hired a contractor to install the all-inclusive playground. If you haven't stopped out there, it looks pretty awesome. Trees were planted at Kids Kingdom trees were planted at Kids Kingdom and they were stained, am I reading that right? By the students from WSR and other people throughout the community during the Day of Caring.
The cemetery accomplishments, can I see your paper? Okay. The cemetery was named to the Waverly Historic Registry and hosted by the annual Historic Preservation Commission program and award day. They also did a walking tour. They replaced more of the old in-ground garbage containers throughout the cemetery with new caddy baskets to help with safety and visibility. Also work with Public Works to seal coat the main road and East Loop to prolong its condition, and they are still continuing to be straightening up the monuments in the cemetery.
All right, so pictures from the cemetery we have on the left is, the first two pictures is cemetery staff doing some maintenance around the cemetery. The next two pictures is of the staff installing the new walkway and flower beds around the flag. And then the last picture is of Terry Lindell and his walking tour of the historical figures throughout our cemetery.
Civic Center, the accomplishments, the addition of the ADA ramp in council chambers, and also the updated handicap openers to the east doors, and also the wellness center.
Some of the challenges we faced in leisure services this year is finding the seasonal help. It's hard to find people that can work earlier in the spring and longer into the fall. A lot of vandalism incidents, especially in the Memorial Park area. And then another challenge is that our longtime community sharing garden volunteer Bill Deckard passed away unexpectedly. We did place a plaque, and it was shared and posted to the community gardens to honor Bill for all that he has donated through the years.
The leisure service partners with Waverly Utilities, Baseball and Softball Association, the Chamber of Commerce and Main Street, the ISU Extension, Kiwanis, Wartburg, and the W, Waverly Shell Rock Schools, Heritage Days, Bremer County Fair, and the Waverly Area Veterans Post.
Some of our future projects include redesigning and construction of Memorial Park, the all-inclusive playground at Cedar River Park completion, and then hopefully completing 2 to 3 new kayak launches on the city-owned properties.
And we know you probably all have seen this, but this is the new concept of the pool that passed the referendum.
We appreciate your support of leisure services for making Waverly a better place to live. If you have any questions.
Tell me more about the kayak launches.
Hey, Garrett, tell us more about that.
Sure. So they've been in the plan for a couple of years now. We've started actually moving a little dirt. We're looking at Pelican Park and Ridgewood Park for 2 kayak launches.
Okay. So that's one north of the dam and one south of the dam?
They're both north of the dam.
Oh, Ridgewood, okay. Ridgewood's over there, okay, on the other side of the river.
Ridgewood would be just north of the Veterans Post.
Yeah, right.
Yep, so we hope to have those in the spring.
Okay.
Along those lines, have any thought about accessibility to either one of those?
Not at this point. I did get your email this morning, but I haven't had a chance to reply to that yet. I'd definitely be willing to, I think we should, look into what it would take to make at least one of them accessible. Yes.
I noticed in your report under the Civic Center, you mentioned working with the HVAC. I'm happy to report that the heating part of that is working just great tonight.
It sure is.
Yeah.
Much better than where I was working today. I mean,
And I appreciate you acknowledging our partnership with the W, Wartburg College. I think it was very gracious of them to help us out this summer with the pool. I want to keep bringing that up, that our strong partnership with Wartburg. Council, you have other comments, questions? It's looking great.
Thank you.
You're going to have a very busy year with the new aquatic center and Memorial Park. We have extracted item 3 from the agenda. That brings us to reports from boards and commissions. You have the report from Board of Adjustments in front of you. Any questions? Staff updates? James.
Just a quick update, yard waste site
closing is extended through Wednesday, this Wednesday, the 27th. We figured with a nice weekend, we opened it back up, just a little longer, people get rid of any sticks or leaves they may chase down. Thursday's garbage and recycling route is now Wednesday, November 27th. That's for garbage and recycling. And then Friday's route, since the city offices are closed, is Monday, December 2nd for garbage and recycling. So any questions, it's on our website. You can take a look at that. And it gets confusing at times when you get double holidays.
That's all we have tonight, sir.
Is the golf course still open?
No, no, closed.
No? Okay. City council comments, Professor Bergen.
I just want to encourage everyone to have safe travels around this Thanksgiving holiday, and anyone who wants to discuss city business, I will be at the Wooden Foot after the council meeting.
Councilperson Myers.
I had the opportunity to attend a meeting today that was hosted by the Chamber, Bridge Progress Update, and can happily report that things are pretty much on schedule. They did have a little bit of a delay because of what they found when they did the borings. They're waiting for testing to come back on that, from that, but the guy from the DOT said that PCI is planning on bringing in an extra crew so that they could catch up on that timing, or, I mean, catch up on what they lost due to that, and other than that, things are pretty well on schedule for hopefully being done around Labor Day next year. I would heartily encourage everyone to continue patronizing downtown businesses. It's very important right now.
Yes, thank you for bringing that up. Many people have talked to me about, oh, we're looking, we don't see anyone working. Well, that's the plan. That's supposed to be happening now. They're testing. You don't want to build a bridge and then drive a car over it to see if it worked. You wanted to do all this testing. So I know you're looking at the bridge and seeing no one working. That's part of the plan. Things are going fine. Councilperson Kangas.
Just going to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving and encourage everyone to shop locally on Saturday for Small Business Saturday. I know people will enjoy Friday sales, but get to the small businesses. You can come on Friday too, they'd accept you. But Saturday certainly is one to consider.
Councilperson Rathi.
Encourage everybody to sign up for texts from the city. I already knew that the yard waste hours and days were extended. Are you going to send texts about garbage pickup on holidays? That is, I'm a Thursday person, so.
Yeah, that's our plan.
Okay.
We do have days specific as well. So if you sign up for your Thursday pickup, you'll actually get it, we're setting it up to get a reminder on those, and those are canceled or changed.
Okay, hopefully not late Wednesday night or Wednesday morning, but my other comment is I would encourage everybody who wants to buy a Christmas tree to go to the Kiwanis stand. They are very helpful. I took my tree stand and they helped me hook it on, put it in the car, got home, all I had to do was add water. So it was perfect. They earned a great tip. So it's a good fundraiser for them, and they've got beautiful greenery and wreaths and trees out there. And a young Langner helping with technology, so they now take credit cards.
All right.
Yeah.
Councilperson Wolf.
Just wanted to say that on November 11th, we had a community book read with a book called Unrig, and comments were brought up about the book. I just wanted to say that the book club is not for promoting a certain book. It's a space to have conversations about what it's about from all points of view. And the Human Equity and Diversity Commission is wanting to have those challenging conversations from a diverse group of people so we can become better neighbors and a better community. Thank you.
Yeah, good. Thank you, Councilperson. Guest Councilperson Langer.
Well, I want to thank you, Mark, for giving me a call and asking me to come. Sorry I wasn't here on the 18th. I was watching my son wrestle. He wrestled better tonight than he did that day, so we had some good talks. My technology son. No, I think in the season of Thanksgiving, I just want to remind us to be thankful for what we have and what we're able to do. You know, I've been able over the last 4 or 5 years working with James and Paul and Garrett and a lot of city staff to understand what they do. I'm not here to make a plea to hire them more staff, but I can tell you they are extremely overworked because they work so hard and they're passionate and they've sacrificed for themselves and for our community. And I think our community needs to know that, that they're working extremely hard. I hate to hear the stories of the individuals at the beginning of the day, and that's not what our city's setting up to do. I know that for a fact. But I do try to take a perspective of 10,000 population communities in the state of Iowa. And I would like to know who's doing it better than us and how hard they're working, because I think we're doing a pretty good job of it. Living on the east side, I cannot wait till that bridge is done. Julie, I hope it is done before Labor Day. But I think you're right. We got to patronize our downtown. We got to support them, whether that's buying a cup of coffee or cinnamon roll or a pair of gloves or just anything. Just get out there and help them. But let's be thankful for what we got. I think we have a city staff that cares deeply about the progress of our community in all facets, whether that be volunteerism, our schools, our churches, our homes, whatever it is. But we are set up for the future. There's always going to be something. None of us up here like paying taxes, but that's what we do because we want a better community. And I'm grateful and thankful that I get to live in this community and raise my family here. So thank you for the time.
Thank you, Jeremy. Waverly, it's almost Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. I hope your celebration is great, but I know that many of us will be spending time with our families and our extended families and talking politics and religion and turkey. So when you're with your family, Waverly, be kind. I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
Move that we adjourn.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
All right.
We are adjourned.